So awesome. Happy Friday, everyone. It is officially day 5, the final day of our September Wellness Week. And it is Melissa and I again here today. Dan had a family thing that I'll let him announce when he's back. So yeah, it's again Melissa and I. So thanks, Melissa, for being here with me today.
Thank you.
I always appreciate it. And yeah, for today, we're going to be talking about meal kind of tips and tricks and just different things to consider while we're traveling, kind of all around meals. And yeah, like I said, just some different things to consider. So we're going to dive a little bit into kind of the headspace side of things. We're going to talk about considerations at restaurants or when you're out and about, but also just kind of general tools and ideas for again, more considerations or other, meal prep ideas with that. And if you guys have any too that you want to share, I noticed there's already a couple people watching. So hello on Facebook. Feel free to comment and yeah, add to the conversation. We'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback too. So again, diving in as we're, I feel like it's been a little bit less this past year, of course, with COVID and things, but I feel like now things are opening back up and a lot of people are traveling and going to visit families and going on vacations. And there's just, yeah, a lot going on. And so as we, you know, kind of are planning ahead or thinking towards a vacation or just traveling, I think headspace is is really important to consider, yeah, while you're there and even ahead of time to kind of getting clear with your intention, but also being sure to give yourself some grace because as we're traveling and out and about, we don't really expect that we're going to be eating quite as healthy or there's going to be as many options as there usually is, when we're at home. And so it's kind of an apples to oranges comparison and yeah, so kind of separating those. But again, we can learn each time that we learn something new from all the different trips and things that we do and just other things that we can consider in the future. And Melissa, I'm curious for you, has there been, I know we kind of chatted a little bit before this and neither of us are doing too much traveling, but yeah, what are your thoughts on some, especially considering the headspace as you're, you know, out and about traveling?
Yeah. Well, we did do a vacation this summer and we went to a hotel and it had like not a kitchenette, but it did have like a microwave and like a kitchen area. And so, I really wanted to stay on with a good eating and then packing for everybody because it was a water park. And, figured like 2 meals we probably would just like grab and go. Right. And so for that, I was like, well, I'll just see what they have. And I'm going to think about it when I get there, what I'll eat those times. But really preparing for all the kids and everybody coming, I actually brought like we have a blender that just is one. And so I brought that, and, we have our frozen stuff and our cooler. And so I made sure like I actually brought the stuff to make the smoothie with, and then everybody else wanted smoothies. And so that was kind of neat because it's like, you can create your own way of doing it. It doesn't have to be, a certain way. And that's why I kind of started thinking outside the box. Like, well, what am I going to eat each day? And actually it was neat because it made me think ahead. Sometimes I like to wing it, a lot of the times I just throw a couple things together, but I actually had to, it helped me learn how to think about it for a couple days and for everybody. Like, what are they going to want for snacks? What are they going to want for, and are we going to be hungry when we get back at night in the hotel room? And it's the go-to to order pizza. Well, I didn't want that to be the go-to. And so what are we going to have? And, I made taco meat. We had tacos one night. It's like, these are things that you can actually, we had the refrigerator, we had the, microwave, we had all the things. And so I'm like, yeah, let's keep it a little bit like we talked about before, good, better, best. I mean, it was better to have like the homemade taco stuff that I brought in the containers than ordering pizza. It would have been easier pizza, but just that forethought, and I was surprised at how well it went. I don't think I packed enough because towards the end, the snacks were dwindling, but again, like I knew for next time, right? This is where I was at this time. So next time pack a few more snacks. So actually I do have a little bit of experience. I didn't think I had, but like we did do that this summer, and that's kind of what it was neat. It was a neat trial because, traveling's inevitable. Eventually we'll travel again. And now I know from that experience what I would change for the next time. So
yeah, now that's awesome. And I think they're definitely, like you said, a lot of what we're going to talk about today is kind of the power of thinking or planning ahead. And, yeah, otherwise, you're kind of at the mercy of whatever's around you. So most likely kind of probably gas stations or some fast food. And even if we are kind of at the mercy of what's around us, there are some kind of considerations or yeah, some things that we can do at those restaurants, or again, just some different things to look for, again, if that's kind of our only option. So within the restaurant, or the restaurant, I was about to say tip and rest, anyways. So with restaurants, one general tip is to think what option gives me the most vegetables. That's one super simple thing to look out for. And, most restaurants, some fast food, even, fast food, a lot of the fast food restaurants have at least some different salad options, maybe with some, yeah, different chicken, just, yeah, a little bit more of a variety of vegetables. Otherwise, at, a lot of different restaurants too, yeah, they oftentimes will have somewhat of a decent variety of vegetables. And I think we, or some of us can, including myself, can underestimate the power of asking, or, yeah, just inquiring. Because again, restaurants, there's certain things that they can omit if you ask them, or they can put things on the side. You can also ask Dan. I don't know why I've never thought of this either. He's a genius. But you can, yeah, also ask for like double portions of things. So yeah, let's say you're getting some, chicken and broccoli, and it usually comes with mashed potatoes or, mac and cheese. You can, yeah, politely ask for an extra serving of broccoli instead. Or, yeah, again, I think Melissa mentioned the good, better, best. We like to think of things kind of on a spectrum. And again, yeah, I think expectations is a big thing. And yeah, kind of again, giving ourselves grace. And Dan and I always say the biggest source of disappointment is unmet expectations. So again, give yourself some grace, because it's different when we're out and about versus when we're at home under our own roof and control and what have you. So Melissa, do you have any other kind of things or tips, especially inside restaurants, or yeah, different
Well, one
options there?
one thing I think for sure is just like the mindful eating really comes into play when you're
Yeah.
traveling, especially like if you're going to be in the car, because we are eating healthy. We are being very mindful about what we put in our bodies when we're at home. And so when we're on the road or we're out and about, that's like the last time that you want to get sick on vacation, or just eat too much of one thing and just so picking the vegetables and eating those first, and kind of just being way more mindful on the road, or on vacation of what you're putting in your mouth, and then how you're going to feel later, because you want to feel good. And so I think that's important. And in restaurants, yeah, I definitely think ordering the double vegetables. I do that. If I ever go to Pancheros, I always get two of the vegetables in the burrito, and that that's my experience at ordering the double vegetables. But
Yep.
there's places you can go, and in eating those first two to fill you up. That's one thing that the kids have really noticed, is like, I'm full after they eat a big plate of vegetables. It's like that's a sustaining fulfillment. It's not and that's how you're supposed to feel. And so it's good. It's getting
Ew.
that vegetable load in, and then like what else do you want? Because then you're more apt to make good choices, because you're not super hungry after you eat
Right.
vegetables. So I think that's doubling up is a really great idea.
Yum.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think yeah, even with considering restaurants too, I even myself kind of underestimate the like diversity in a lot of different restaurant options. And so that's another thing where kind of thinking ahead might come in too. So if the location that you're going, you can kind of look ahead and, look for those different restaurants. And even like Melissa mentioned, she yeah, kind of when you did your trip, you kind of had planned out how many meals you guys were going to have and how many meals you were maybe going out for, or were going to go somewhere else. And I think that's an awesome thing to do, because again, yeah, it's honestly whatever's helpful for you. So you can think, all right, do I want or need to have every meal planned out, or should I just, at least plan for one or two meals of the day, and we can figure it out, figure the third one out, and yeah, just kind of do the best that we can with what's available to us. So there's there's definitely a lot of options out there. Don't be afraid of yeah, kind of trying something new. And I think too, yeah, with planning ahead, there's a lot of things that kind of come to mind, and whether you're, camping or going out that way or going to a hotel or Airbnb. And like you said, Melissa, too, you had that microwave and other, appliances. So checking into that. And also, hotels can be fairly accommodating too. So if you did request a room with, a mini fridge or something like that, yeah, it's fairly likely that they again will accommodate for you. And along with that too, kind of with researching the area, if you are set on a hotel or Airbnb, check out the restaurants nearby or check out if there are grocery stores nearby. And Dan, as we were planning for this, he talked to me about this portable cooler that apparently can plug into car outlets, which blows my mind and would be
Yeah.
awesome. And of course, you can do it the regular way too with ice in a big cooler, but I just think that's so cool. There's so many tools that, are created to help us out for, these weird things. So I love it. And let me see here. I'm curious, Melissa. Yeah, just to see if in your experience, if any other, yeah, kind of tips or things helped you to, succeed or even continue to be mindful as you were traveling and looking for food options.
I guess a lot of it when we did go last time, and I really wanted to, speaking on those vegetables again, is get those in, is, washing all my vegetables before I went. I do it like, I just kind of throw everything in the sink and put apple cider vinegar and baking soda in there, and just like make sure I clean up the vegetables, but the apples, pears, or just anything that you can grab and go and eat. It's just, again, it's a sustaining fulfilledness. And so like when you're in the car, or beef jerky, or dried fruits and vegetables or fruits are really good. And then like I like cauliflower crunchy dehydrated or whatever, that's really good. So just kind of thinking again outside the box of what snacks to bring, and just throwing them in there and having a cool, like, that's really neat that it plugs in. I mean, that's cool. Right. But just the preparedness. And if you're not prepared, again, like you said, is there a grocery store around it? Actually, a lot of the gas stations sell bananas and fruits and vegetables at this point. So you're right. It's, it's not, and also, like you said, it's not the end of the world if, you stop somewhere and eat something, because it is vacation or it is a trip, and it is meant to kind of, I always felt better about that. Like those 2 meals I said we had, I always feel better about having those 2 meals because I did the work on the other side where the rest of the meals were good. So, I didn't feel so bad about that, and picking a place that has something healthy, even if it's, I don't know if it's the right thing to say, but even if it's fries, like fries are, not the healthiest, but good, better, best. They're potatoes, they're vegetable. Like I always go for those, if there's not any other like vegetable options, like, say it's like a bar type, food or something, so that there's always like good, better, best, there's always a way to go. So, yeah.
I agree. And I also think that's too why we talk about, giving ourselves some grace, because sometimes there truly just aren't, any great options. So again, doing the best that you can. And thanks for also sharing some different ideas of, like some different jerkies that you bring along. And also like you talked about the smoothies and just having like some fresh berries or, vegetables on hand. I also agree, even at, like gas stations and things, they often have, like nuts or kind of like a trail mix type of thing. Even some different most of the time probably would be like homemade, but have you ever made like little energy balls? Oh, there's so many different kinds of them, but I think those are so fun, and I just they're great for travel too. Just nice little sweet snack on the road.
Oh yeah,
dig it. And there's options everywhere, and that's why we talked too first about giving ourselves some grace, and we're supposed to be having fun too while we travel. So make sure you consider that too.
And getting in the water too, making sure that, you're drinking that water. That's another important, well, it's always important, but when you're, on vacation or traveling, it is, I realize just, the more I really do stay on top of my water, the more I am not, I don't have those like cravings for the sugar, or because it is, if you're driving or you're traveling and those gas stations, it's hard to pick the banana in the gas station when there's something else that tastes so but just really keeping that water going, because that's gonna satisfy that real deep, like seated hunger, and it kind of help you flow through your day, and just remembering to get that in, I suppose, is super important, good foundation for traveling at any time. Yeah.
I definitely agree. Yeah, and I know sometimes it can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to have to go to the bathroom more often than not, but honestly, it's a like a it doesn't seem like a good thing, but I feel like it is because at the same time, most time we're in the car for hours. And again, most of the tips today are kind of talking about like car traveling. But even some of it, could be helpful too, as if you're flying. But yeah, you're sitting a lot and you're oftentimes in the same position. And so, yeah, definitely keeping up with hydration and yeah, trying your best to get some movement in here and there if you're able to. Just,
Yeah.
yeah, because I know how much of a toll that can take on me too. So, yeah. And honestly, yeah, I want to do a little bit of a recap. We're flying through all these tips. And yeah, I just want to kind of review what we've covered and see if there's, yeah, any more, even the people watching too. If you guys have any other tips that you guys use or, yeah, just please share. We're happy to hear what you have to say. So we talked a little bit about headspace. Again, giving yourself some grace and not comparing apples to oranges, and by other means saying yeah, don't compare our habits while we're traveling versus while we're at home. We have a lot more control in our own home environment, and yeah, life happens while we're traveling. So oftentimes, things aren't going to work exactly as we have planned. So give yourself some grace and also understand too, it's a learning experience. So, the more that you travel or, take different trips, you're going to learn something that you can apply to the next trip. And same thing for that trip. You'll learn something to do differently for the next time. And I think, yeah, there's always more that we can learn. And with restaurants, different tips that we've chatted about is maximizing the vegetables that you can get in there. So trying to optimize those. You can even, yeah, ask for accommodations, whether you want them to omit something or put something on the side or get a double portion of something. Restaurants are fairly accommodating. And even, like I said, most fast food places too will at least have some different salad or like simple chicken options too. But again, give yourself some grace, do the best you can. And yeah, control what you can control. And yeah, I think that's a good one. And then a couple final little tips too, just yeah, doing some planning ahead. I think the biggest message again is plan ahead, think ahead. The more you can look into wherever you're going to figure out, again, more information about the hotel or Airbnb, wherever you're staying, figure out those accommodations and appliances that you have and can use. And yeah, check out the area around you, grocery stores, restaurants, and even plan your own or bring your own stuff on there too if you want to. And also, a lot of these tips and even a couple more too will be included in our guide for today. So I will share our question of the day in just a second here. And yeah, all you've got to do is answer that and you'll get our guide for today. But with all of those, again, there's just a lot of different things here and there that we can do. But yeah, Melissa, what would you, if you had like a final word of advice, what would you say to, yeah, anyone that's listening for them to consider for their next travel adventure?
Yeah, after listening to the recap, I gotta say, tap into your body and the mindfulness, and you want, and when you're on a trip or a vacation or you're traveling, you want it to be fun, and you don't want to feel like overloaded in your body or anything. It's just kind of, like eat and then just check in with yourself, see how you feel, and then just really be mindful of that, because I just know the more I'm mindful about like how my body feels, tapping into my body, and like how much I'm eating and being mindful about eating, the more my day goes smooth. I have fun, and it's like, don't have to worry about, oh, my stomach hurts, I ate too much. That's not even a phrase that I say. And to have a vacation or a trip where I don't say that or feel that, I mean, that would be great. And then also getting back on track when you come home, like always
Right.
remember that, you're going back to your home space where all your good stuff is, and your routine and all that. And so
Mhm.
enjoy yourself, again, grace. I
Yep.
think all that's important too. Yeah.
I agree. Yay! Thanks, Melissa.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for our question and challenge of the day. So I'm going to share our challenge of the day first. So our challenge is to search online menus and find a couple menu or meal ideas from one or more restaurants that are better choices. Again, we talked about good, better, best. And yeah, when a best option isn't available, it's a spectrum. Just do the best that you can. But yeah, so that's our challenge. Just checking out, trying to find a meal idea from somewhere that again is a better option. And you can consider kind of potential accommodations you could make or ask for too. And then for our question, it is, what travel ideas do you have that you could share with the group? So super simple. Yeah, just share something that you do that yeah, could maybe help someone else in future travel as well. So awesome. Well, also said, our September wellness week is concluded after I finish this. Again, I'll post the question of the day right after this. And thanks again, Melissa, for being here with
Yeah.
me. And yeah, kind of our little last minute switch for today. And of course, yeah, we will I'll be sending out the rest of the guides today and early next week, so keep an eye out for those if you've been answering the question of the day. Otherwise, yeah, you guys have an awesome weekend, and just thanks for watching, or yeah, even watching live or later. We just appreciate you guys, and it still blows my mind that this group gets, yeah, we're just growing so fast. And so thank you all for being here, and yeah, we'll check in with you guys later. Have an awesome weekend.
Yeah, have a great
Bye.
weekend.
Thanks,
Bye.
Melissa.